For today's session. Due to this pandemic, we're forced to conduct this session on a virtual platform. So if at any time you're facing problems with the audio or the video, please let us know. We'd like to make sure that there's no communication gap. So firstly, I'd like to congratulate the parties for choosing mediation. Mediation is a very dynamic and a flexible process in which a neutral third party helps the parties at conflict to come up with a mutually beneficial solution. So our role as mediators would only be to facilitate a productive discussion between the parties. We will at no point provide solutions to you. You are expected to come up with your own solutions for your own problems. We will only help you in reaching to an agreement, right? So our goal will be to facilitate a productive conversation between the two parties, and we will make sure that at all times we are neutral and fair. If at any time you feel that we're not being neutral or fair, please let us know. We'd like to rectify the situation and come up with an amicable solution. I'd now like to move forward with the procedure of today's session. We'll first have a joint session in which we'll take up the perspectives of both the parties about the situation. After that, we'll try and come up with points of disagreement or certain issues. Once we have chalked out the issues, we'll move on with the private caucus. After the private caucus, we'll have a joint conference. And I hope that in the joint conference, we have productive conversations about possible solutions. Now I'd like my co-mediator to brief you about other intricacies of today's session.
Thank you so much for beautifully summing things up, Ms. Mediator. So I'm Smriti Yunani, I'm the co-mediator for this session. As my co-mediator has already pointed out, we're just here to facilitate the entire conversation. No judgments made or no decisions taken on our behalf, right? But I would still like to say that we do control the process in a way that we direct the discourse, that we direct the course of this discussion. So at any given point of time, we might help you set the agenda. We might, so please don't mind us if we intervene here and there, if we reach a stagnant point or if we reach a deadlock, right? So we'll try to negotiate that out and we'll try to talk you out of that deadlock, right? Now I would like to talk about certain important features of mediation. First being the confidentiality. So what's popular to be said in United States is called the mediator's Miranda warning, which means that we cannot fine you or we cannot hold you accountable for anything that you say in this session, which means that this session is a completely secretive and a confidential one. So please feel free to have a full and frank disclosure. Anything that we note down in here will be made sure to, previously we used to shut it down, we'll just delete it now, the online notes. But please feel free to say anything that you want to, because this is a confidential session. Us as mediators will not be allowed to testify in court against you. So that's a big plus point. Secondly, I would also like to say that any information that you furnish will be sealed and will be inadmissible in the court of law. So please feel free to say, free to have an honest and open communication. Secondly, this whole process is a voluntary one, which means that any party can at any given point of time leave the meeting by citing a reason, can withdraw their participation from this mediation. This process is entirely voluntary, right? Thirdly, as my co-mediator said, that we have a provision of private caucus, which means that if any party feels intimidated at any point of time, or if they're apprehensive of oversharing any information, please feel free to tell us, and we will arrange a private meeting between that concerned party, between us, so we can understand what the actual interests are, what the actual needs of the parties are, and then help you out of that situation. Excuse me, that situation, right? And in fact, if there is any disparity in time between the private caucus, please do not think that there is any bias that the mediators are developing. It will surely be on the basis of merit. Now moving on, since my mediator already said that if you have any problems in disconnectivity or if any mic issues or anything else, you can tell us. So if all the points are clear, I would just like to say that we as neutral third party professionals, as neutral trained professionals, would like to make this process as simple and as effective as possible. Please feel free to reach out to us. Now let's, without any further ado, invite the opening statement from either of the parties. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning. I'm the representative of Modi Apparels. Firstly, I would like to thank both the mediators for explaining and elucidating the process of mediation so well. And I would also like to thank the representative from Amit Shah's Apparels for coming here, taking out her precious time and joining in for the mediation session. As far as I'm concerned, I'm currently the Chief Strategy Officer at the company, wherein I oversee not just the legal department, but also the marketing vertical of the company. And having been in the industry for so many years, I can tell you for a fact, Ms. Mediator, that our company prides itself in being manufacturers of clothing that are of utmost quality. It has taken us almost 25 years to build a reputation and to build a brand and to reach a position that we're currently in. Now, given that our brand is renowned worldwide and given that we have a very niche clientele, our reputation post this particular incident has been seriously damaged. In fact, the damage is unquantifiable. Now, in the present case, our company had an agreement of distributorship with the Amit Shah Apparels, wherein the Amit Shah Apparels had a license to sell our products within the territory of India for a period of 3 years. Now, post the 3-year period, the contract had ceased to exist. And despite that, the company, that is Amit Shah Apparels, continued to sell our products without our permission. And there have been serious claims and allegations. In fact, these allegations have been proven right as well, that most of these products that were sold were counterfeit. Now, hence, I feel that there has not just been a breach of the contract per se, but there have been some serious IP thefts as well. However, I would not delve too much into the legalese, given that the very purpose of mediation is to collaborate and reach settlement, right? Having said that, I know that litigation is a cumbersome and an unnecessary process. However, if you put us in a corner and we have no way out, then litigation is a process that my company and my battery of lawyers is willing to pursue. Hence, I hope that this mediation session turns out to be a fruitful and a collaborative one, and we do reach a settlement. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being completely honest with us. Let's just hope that this entire process is not a combative one, where we are able to resolve the differences that both the parties might have. Thank you so much. Now I invite the statement from other party.
Good morning. I'm here as the spokesperson for Party B, that is Shaw Distributor. This case is about an agreement made between Modi Apparels and Shaw Distributor. Before we go into the procedure, I would like to tell you that Shaw Distributor is one of the reputed company in New Delhi. The Modi Apparels Private Limited is a Indian-based company entered into an agreement with Shaw Distributor. As per the agreement, Shaw Distributor have to distribute the apparels in the domestic market of India, and the license of distributorship will be invalid for 3 years from the date of the execution of the agreement. And as per the terms of the agreement, the Modi Apparel shall notify the Shaw Apparels about the expiry of the license and with respect to the need of the renewing the license at least 1 month before the expiry date. But after the lapse of 3 years, the Shaw distributors continued the distributorship of apparels in the market. And the Modi Apparels discovered that Shaw distributors supplied fake Modi Apparels. And the first party publishes such finding in certain national newspaper in India, in Indian market, which is a threat to the reputation of Shaw distributor. So this is what the case is about.
Okay, so just to summarize both of the parties' contentions, the first party is saying that they have suffered an unquantifiable damage because it is alleged that party B has sold counterfeit products in their name without the agreement, because the agreement only was for 3 years. And the second party's main contention is that after the agreement had ceased, 1 month of notice, 1 month prior notice should have been given by party A. And correct me if I'm wrong, but are you contending that you did not sell counterfeit goods?
I sold the remaining stock.
Okay. So your contention is that you sold the remaining stocks,
Yeah.
and the article published by Party A damages your reputation.
Yeah, market reputation.
Okay. Um, if it is amicable to both parties, can we move into a private caucus now?
Sure.
I think before that, if we can just have a session for around 2 minutes and then probably move for a private caucus.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely.
So I do understand and I do acknowledge the fact that it was a fault on our part as well that we did not serve a 1 month notice. But having said that, the very purpose of contract is that it's valid for a specific time period. The very fact that the contract ended after the very fact that 3 years had come to a standstill and the fact that the contract had ended, that itself proves that the party B did not have any right to sell our products. Now I understand that the responsibility lies on both of us because there was a fault on our part as well that we did not serve a 1 month notice. And hence, I do understand that Party B does not want to apologize because, again, its reputation will be damaged. Hence, I have this offer for Party B wherein we can issue a joint statement in the public, wherein we can take responsibility for our actions. But in this particular case, I feel that Party B has a higher degree of responsibility than us. And hence, I feel that a joint statement would be perfect.
What does the Party B think about this offering, if we may know?
But as per the agreement, Party A shall notify us about the need of the renewing of the license. But we shall not. But we shouldn't receive such notice.
So you're not agreeing to the joint statement. You're not agreeing to issuing the joint statement. Am I right?
Sorry.
So if I may rephrase what Party A has already said, they want you and Modi Apparels to do a PR stunt where they go into the public and say that this is what has happened, we take responsibility for whatever has happened and clarify certain things. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, they're okay with that.
So we have an agreement at such an early stage that both the parties are ready to release a joint statement.
Yeah, so I would just like to step in here and just inform the mediators that in this
Yes.
particular case, as I mentioned earlier, that there lies a higher sense of responsibility on Party B's side, right? And hence they need to come out and clarify why the counterfeit goods were sold in the first place and what were the reasons behind them.
Yes, Party A, that is a valid point. Party B, what do you, how do you wish to respond to this?
I only sold the remaining stock, which is profitable to us and both the, and as well as the Party A.
So are there any contentions? Are there any counter offers? Would you like to say anything on behalf of Shah distributorship other than saying that you have sold the remaining stock? If there is anything, please feel free to say so.
No.
All right.
I think I just chip in here and tell us a bit about our company. So our company is known, our company is a brand which is known for the last 25 years. And we have been in this industry for so many years and we've built a brand for ourselves. Having said that, there is a difference between a mistake and there's a difference between an intentional mistake. In this particular case, when you say that the goods were counterfeit, we mean that the material were made of some weak straws and even the labels on the particular materials were completely wrong, right? And because of these reasons, these are out there in the public and hence there's nothing to hide. Now, I do understand why Party B does not want to come out and accept the responsibility for what it has done, because obviously its reputation will be damaged. Hence, what we can do is Party B can actually come out in the public, do a PR stunt and tell everyone that we're donating these clothes to charity. In that way, the reputation of Party B will also be good. And it also, takes responsibility for its actions. That shows honesty.
Party B, what do you have to say about that? I think it's a very good solution. It's a very creative solution, in fact.
Indeed.
But why they deshamed our company in the public?
Sorry?
But our reputation is harmed.
Sure. I mean, see, that the reputation of both the companies has been harmed, right? They are saying that the Shah distributorship has sold counterfeit goods, and you are saying that your reputation has been harmed. So for that, they're suggesting a solution in order to make certain say amends, right? So what do you have to say about that? Are
I
you
want,
okay?
yeah, I am okay.
So at
But
this point, we have, yes, Parthivi, you may proceed.
but I want a private focus.
Okay, sure, definitely.
Yeah.
Before we go into a private caucus, I'd like to introduce three acronyms to both of my parties. That is BATNA, VATNA, and MLATNA. I would be writing these down in the chat boxes so you can refer back to them. BATNA is the best alternative to negotiated agreement. VATNA is the worst alternative to negotiated agreement. And MLATNA is the most likely alternative to negotiated agreement. So now in the caucus, we would be having discussions on these terms so that we can come to a level where we can agree to certain terms and conditions. To this point, we have agreed on two things. Number one, that a joint statement would be released by both the parties so as to mend their reputation a little. And number two, that party B would donate clothes to charity so as to, again, to improve the reputation of both the parties, I think. Am I correct? Please correct me if I'm wrong at any juncture.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. And the very fact that Party B is giving away the clothes to charity, that in a way shows that they're taking responsibility for its actions. And hence that shows that they have a higher sense of responsibility on their part.
Agreed. So party A, if it's fine with you, can we go to a private caucus with party B because they requested it first?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Can party A be shifted into the waiting room? Okay, that has already happened.
I think, yeah, that has been done. Here we are, Party B. Here we are in a private meeting. So both of us, my co-mediator and me, we will be talking to you about what actually do you want from this process? Why did you agree to this process in the first place, right? There are certain allegations leveled against your company. So why did you in the first place agree to mediation? What do you want out of this process so we could, direct the course of this dialogue further? And as my co-mediator has said, we could also talk about the best alternative or the worst alternative. If you want to talk about it, please feel free to say so.
So we mutually decide for the mediation because we do not take it more publicly. Okay, so I want from the party that they accept that it is wrong from both the parties, that there is a misunderstanding. So they publicly accept that.
As far as I know, as far as what we've talked about in the session, as Party A has also said that they're willing to take responsibility as long as both of you do a joint statement. So I think they've already agreed upon that. Am I right,
Yeah.
ma'am?
Yes, both the parties have agreed to issue a joint statement. If there are any other expectations which you have from party A, please let us know. And also, we will take your consent before giving any information disclosed in this session to party A. So please feel free to talk about anything which you're not comfortable talking about in the joint session.
I want that they publicly accept that there is a mistake on their part also. It's not our mistake, our company's mistake, totally.
Okay, so are you suggesting an apology or a statement? What is the nature of your demand from party A? Could you please be a little more specific?
Not an apology, but
Okay.
but I'm saying that they accept that there is a part of mistake on there.
Public acceptance of
Yeah,
their mistake
yeah,
is what you want.
yeah.
So you're suggesting that apart from the joint statement, you also want a separate public acceptance from party A.
Yes.
And what do you have to say about the allegation that counterfeit goods are being sold? I'm sorry. Is that, a contention from your side?
No, not a fake counterfeit. I'm selling only the remaining stock, not on the part of fake apparels.
Okay.
Yeah.
So party B, it is very likely that party A would bring up this counterfeit issue. So would you be okay if in the joint session they demand some amount from you, some compensatory amount? Are you okay with that?
No.
You're not okay with that. Okay, so you do not wish to pay any compensatory amount. Are you comfortable if we convey this to party A in the private session?
Yeah.
Can we please have party A back in the meeting if we can? Prerna, right. So welcome back to the joint session, part A. So we had a frank disclosure with party B, and we now know that what they want from you. So to, if I may, mediator one, part, yeah. So party B does agree to the joint session. They do agree to the PR stunt, but apart from that, they also want you to publicly accept that there has been a mistake on your part as well. And I think that is something that we could discuss about in the time to come.
Yeah, I think let's have a private caucus and then we can discuss all these points therein.
Sure, party A. Can we move party B to the witness? Thank you.
Right. So I think all of us acknowledge the fact that nothing's agreed until unless we come to an agreement, right? There's no agreement until unless we agree to everything. And hence I would throw in my ideas and then you guys can chip in and, structure all these ideas and then we can probably implement one of these ideas, right? So firstly, I need to tell you that what's the reason behind us wanting to collaborate with Shah Apparels again, right? The reason behind that is when we had signed the contract, we knew that Shah Apparels is the dominant player in the Indian market. And that's the primary reason why we wanted an agreement with this particular company than any other company which was there in the same, which was operating in the same industry, right? Hence, we don't want to break our relationship with Shah Apparels, but at the same time, we have certain conditions. And until unless those conditions are fulfilled, we might not be comfortable in going ahead with this particular deal. The first one being that the apology part, I think they need to give in a public apology for what they have done, claiming that they have a higher sense of responsibility than us because they are the ones who were the distributors. Apart from that, there was a concern raised that if they, let's say, publish an apology, a public apology, their reputation will be damaged. And hence, I've given a solution for that particular problem that they can, donate those clothes to charity, which in a sense will not damage the reputation entirely, but rather save it. And at the same time, in the agreement that we'll be signing now, again for the distributorship agreement, I would like to insert a penalty clause wherein for every such incident that occurs in the future, Shah Apparels will be charged a particular penalty or they would be penalized for their actions. Apart from that, thirdly, we also need that the premium that we pay to Shah Apparels for selling our products, the commission that we pay, that has to be reduced by at least 10%. And I guess 10% is a fairly modest amount given the kind of sales that our apparels have and the kind of revenue which Shah Apparels bring in their company because of us. Apart from this, I have a few other offers as well, but probably when we have the joint session, I can throw in these ideas and then you guys can structure that.
So I appreciate you, Party B, for coming up with such creative solutions. And only one clarification I have. In the second condition, you said that you wish to insert a penalty clause for any such action. Could you please be more specific as to what any such action entails?
Right. So any such action here means that if in the future it has been claimed by any of our competitors or anyone in the public that counterfeit goods are being sold, then obviously there lies a penalty provision for that. And the reason I'm stating this penalty clause is because, as I said earlier, we have a very niche clientele. Most of our clients are working professionals who earn over a lakh plus salary per month. And that's the reason they're willing to afford, such high amount of, rupees for our products. And hence we don't want to disappoint them. We don't want to lose our customer base because it's very difficult to get such loyal customers, right? and hence we feel that this penalty clause will serve the purpose.
All right. Thank you so much for being so frank with us, Party A. We will, and if we have your permission, can we disclose this information in the joint session?
Of course you may, but please don't tell them and praise them that you guys are the dominant players in the market, because obviously then that would not serve the purpose.
Okay.
Sure, Party.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Can we have Party B in the joint session back? Hello, Party B. So we just had the private caucus with Party A, and they're more than willing to offer a lot of solutions. They're also willing to discuss. I mean, they kind of want to discuss the contract again. I think both the parties are clear where they mean that they want to continue the relationship between Modi Apparels and Shah Distributorship. So I think that's a good start. Now we could discuss the contract and certain clauses that Party A wants to incorporate in the contract. So if I may, mediator one, if you could just on that.
So before we get into this discussion, when we had a private session with Party B disclosed that they want public acceptance from Party A, because it is their, according to them, it is their fault that they did not renew the contract. So a public acceptance is what they're willing. I apologize, is what they're wishing for. And Party A, if you may continue with your expectations from Party B, then that will be perfect.
Right. So I do understand where this theory of publishing a public statement comes from, and we do understand why Party B wants that. But having said earlier that there lies a higher sense of responsibility on Party B's side, and hence they need to come up with a strong apology in the public domain. However, I have one more solution for this particular problem, wherein if Party B does not want to apologize publicly, then we can put the entire blame on the retailers, because ultimately Shah Apparels is just a distributor, right? And we can put the entire blame on the retailers and tell the retailers, did something wrong and because of which counterfeit goods were sold. So I guess that saves Party B's reputation and Party A's reputation simultaneously.
Party B, what do you have to say about that? Are you okay with a public apology? Will you be willing to accept that?
I'm not ready for public apology.
Okay, maybe we could discuss that later on. Do you want to discuss the contract? Do you want to discuss a renewation of the contract? Do you want to talk about any clauses that you would like to add in the contract? Is there any other expectation?
Renewation of the contract.
Sorry?
First you put the clauses about the contract.
Okay, so to begin with, the Party A has suggested that there be a penalty clause in the contract, renewed contract. So if any such action, say if there is sale of counterfeited goods or if there is any breach of trust, you may have a penalty clause in the contract itself. So what do you have to say about that? Are you okay with such a contract or?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, so Party B has just agreed to have a penalty clause inserted in the renewed agreement. Let me just move that. So if I may just summarize the entire thing. So far, both the parties have agreed to issue a joint statement in public saying that they both take responsibility. Party B has also agreed to a PR stunt wherein they donate the remaining stock to say a charity. Party B has also agreed for a renewed contract which includes a penalty clause for further for any actions that might take place in the future. Now, I think that there's also one thing that Party A suggested, and which is the commission, right? So do you want to, any of the parties, do you want to discuss the commission point, or is it reserved for any other meeting, or do you want to discuss it now? Please let us know.
Right. So I would like to speak directly to Party B in this case. Now, Party B, you know that our company is a renowned company in this particular business, and we have shared a long relationship with your company. and hence we do not want to damage that particular relationship, right? Having said that, just because we have a good relationship doesn't mean we tolerate everything that you do. And hence we feel that in this particular case, you need to come out in open and address the issue heads on. So you need to issue a public apology wherein you declare that you have a higher sense of responsibility in this particular case. And at the same time, apart from donating your clothes for charity, what we need to do is cut down on your commission. So earlier, the commission that we were paying you was a lot, but given the circumstances and given what has happened, I guess there needs to be a cut in the commission that we pay you guys.
Party B, do you have any comments to make?
I don't like the cut of the commission of the clothes from the clothes.
Could you please come out?
I'm not agree with that clothes commission.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just like to chip in here and tell you a few things why I feel that this commission or this cut in commission is very important. See, the thing is, the online market is booming, right? We can directly cut down on the distributors and the retailers and directly ship our products into the people's homes, right? Then what's the need for a distributor and a retailer? So the very fact that we want to collaborate with you guys, that actually is a revenue for you, because if we cut down on that, then you guys, will run into massive losses, given that we happen to be one of your main clients. And hence, we are not directing towards that path of online shipment. We are still keeping you as the middleman, and we're giving you commission for selling our products. And hence, I think it's a good deal, not just for you, but for us as well.
Party B, do you have? Yeah, mediator, please.
Thank you. Party A, could you please specify what is the present commission and how much of a cut are you suggesting?
So as I said, whatever commission we're paying right now, we need, we would pay 10% less of that.
A 10% cut in commission. Okay.
Yes. Which I feel is very, very, very reasonable.
Party B, do you have the same opinion?
So I'm not okay with that.
Would you like to elaborate why you would want to retain this current commission rate? Would you like to justify on behalf of your party, on behalf of your company?
Why there is a cut from our commission?
I think as I said earlier, right, the online market is booming. We can directly tie up with a Flipkart and an Amazon, or we can directly ship our own products, given that we are an established company. We don't really need a middleman in the entire supply chain process, right? But we're doing that so as to prevent or so as to keep the relationship that we have had in the past. And because of that, I feel this 10% commission, this 10% cut in commission is extremely reasonable.
Okay, Party A. Party B, is the cut in commission completely non-negotiable for you?
Yeah.
Okay, are there any other solutions to this if Party A wants to suggest, say, for example, this is just a suggestion, anything I say is not applicable to you, it's not, it's not mandatory, right? But it's just a suggestion. If Party B is so adamant on not cutting the current commission rate, is it okay if Party A advertises Modi Apparels and takes an initiative in an active PR stunt and advertises your product instead of cutting the current commission rate, which is, I think, not negotiable for Party B? Is that okay with Party A and Party B as well?
I think, as I said earlier, right, 10% is extremely reasonable. We can directly tie up with an online forum and sell our products. There's nothing wrong in that. We are an established industry. So I don't really think there's a need for cutting the commission. Apart from that, one more thing which I wanted to clarify here. If we do have this contract in the future, then I would like Party B to do a video tour of their stores, wherein they publicly show how the products are displayed, so that in the future this sort of an incident doesn't occur, and the public knows what sort of products they are selling.
What do you have to say about that, Party B?
I would rather go for the end of the contract. I do not make such contract. Do not want to make such contract.
So you're wishing to terminate your contract with Party A, am I correct?
Yeah.
Does this entail that you're withdrawing from this mediation?
Sorry?
does this entail that you're withdrawing from this mediation if you do not
Because
wish to continue?
I'm not agree with the commission clause.
Okay, party B, but we can always negotiate on such terms. It is
But
okay to not agree on such.
party is not ready for that.
So let's talk it out with Party A. Party A, is it okay if we sort of negotiate on the commission thing, if that's okay?
I think, as I said earlier, our products are extremely premium. People are willing to shell out a lot of bucks for our products. I mean, look at the suit that I'm wearing right now. Doesn't it look fantastic? I mean, that itself goes to show the kind of products that we make and the kind of products that we manufacture, right? And hence, I feel that a 10% cut in commission is very reasonable. But yes, we can talk about that in detail, probably for another mediation session. But I feel that a 10% cut is very reasonable.
Okay, so I think there are certain things that both the parties are very sensitive about, say, the renovation of a contract or say commission rate. But I think this mediation has been successful in the sense that we got a lot of things out of this mediation, right? Yes. First and foremost, we decided, both the parties decided, to be fair, both the parties decided that they will do a joint statement in public and say that both the parties were responsible for whatever happened and there should be a PR stunt. Party A and Party B have also agreed to renew the contract, wherein there will be a penalty clause, and for any future problems, that penalty clause will be referred to. There's also talks about advertisement and other video tools and other creative solutions. So I think we are on the right track. We just need a lot more sessions to resolve the differences. May I invite the comments of my co-mediator, if that's okay?
Indeed, I completely agree with my co-mediator. It was actually a very productive session. Yeah. And we got to see many creative ideas for solutions. And mediation is a long process. So in one session, we cannot expect to come to a solution. But I think from where we started to where we're ending this meeting is commendable. We managed to agree on 3 things. So I think it is an achievement. And this just goes to show that mediation is a successful process for maintaining relationships between 2 people. And we're looking forward to seeing both the parties in the next session. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for conducting this session.
So much. Prerna, do we have a feedback session or Prerna, are you there?
Yeah, Sachin will take over now. Sachin.
Okay, Amok sir, do you want to add a few things to this session?
No, it was, so initially I see it started off really well, and then I saw some sort of a breakdown in the understanding between the parties. It was a good session. It was rather more realistic than the other session that I have judged yesterday. And of course, it's the way in which sessions go, and the mediators did try to hold things up, because a failed mediation is something that's counterproductive to both the parties. Of course, not that this is a negative comment, but Party A did get a little greedy, but it's absolutely fine. That's how things work. That's how it works commercially. Party B did a good job in terms of putting forth what was right for the company and not being swayed away by only the demands put forth by Party A. So Party B also covered what Party B wanted best for her company. Yeah, so it was a good session. I would have liked if there, both the Party A and Party B dwelled a little more into law. Maybe on counts a little more with respect to defamation, little more on counts with respect to loss of reputation, what the consequences could be. Of course, I like the bit where there was terms negotiated with respect to the contract, which a lot of parties failed to do in the previous session, because that's something that is really important during a mediation, which is negotiation or coming to some sort of an understanding with respect to a future or with respect to a proposed contract. Yeah, so it was done just right, I guess. And yeah,
Personal feedbacks.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you have any personal feedbacks for us? If that's fine, I mean.
Yeah, sure. So as I said, see, the role of a the role of a mediator was in fact well executed by both you and by mediator one. And you know, I see the thing is that from the initial proposal of a joint publication, it went on to a public apology.
Okay.
To be given only by party B. So, of course, party A, I would say had a good presence of mind. So probably try to steer things to his advantage. But I would say that this is something the mediators should have probably picked up on, in the sense that we should have tried to say that, okay, you know, this is something that you had initially proposed, but let's not be too ambitious with what we want. As you know, as mediation goes, both of you are just facilitators, but there are times when mediators are to intervene and say that, okay, hold on, one thing at a time. Let's put both parties into a comfortable position, and then slowly build up the terms of the intricacies of the contract or the understanding between the parties. But overall, both mediators did a good job, and I like the way that both of you kind of shared the role, because what used to happen was one mediator would take charge and the other mediator would, you know, somewhat reiterate. But here I saw an equal division of roles between the both of you. So that is something that I appreciate.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So just
Yeah.
Any feedback for the councils in particular?
Yeah, so I understand that the role of council and the parties have been merged in this as compared to the team rounds that took place yesterday. So yeah, so I in fact liked your party. I liked your introduction as to how you were the chief strategy officer who looked after law as well as the company, because it's good to make it clear upfront that you do have legal knowledge, especially since the role is combined in this in the individual rounds. So it's always good to make it clear upfront that you have a sound knowledge of law, as well as you are competent to take certain decisions on behalf of the company. So that is something that I thought was a good point made by you. And I also like Party A's mnemonic. I don't know what you said in Hindi, but it was at that, I don't remember, but I know what you said. But that was, you know, of course, an innovative way of making people remember things. But I wish I saw a bit more, I wish I saw that three things implemented, or you kind of telling them what is the best plan, what is the worst alternative, and what's the third one? I forgot.
That was it. I mean, the first one was
the most likely.
The most likely, yeah, exactly. So I wish this session was concluded with you, you know, putting forth what these three could have been. But of course, in between, it couldn't get to that because the parties were in some sort of a disagreement. But the mediation session didn't really end here. I'm sure there will be more mediation sessions between these parties, because there's a lot more work to be done by the mediators with respect to these two parties, of course. But yeah, overall it was a good round. And party B, I really think you stood your ground. You didn't budge. You were very clear on what you wanted. And of course, you did push back hard on cutting down of the commission, because what I see is in mediation sessions, parties just want some sort of a favorable thing, and they want to say let's just compromise, let's just get done with it. But I would recommend, if you were open to, say, from a 10%, if you came down to a 5%, or with respect to the advertising bit, if you could have said something about it. Of course, you could have spoken numbers very briefly, because that's a different ballgame altogether. That goes to do with financials, the commercial aspect. But yeah, you could have probably chipped in something with respect to saying, why not a 5% and then do something else? And I'm not just going to issue a public apology, it's a joint apology. I think you should have pointed that out, saying that you started off with a joint PR stunt publication, but now you can't just say that, okay, you want me to unilaterally issue an apology, which is not fair according to you. So yeah, there are certain points that party B you could have probably re-emphasized, but thankfully you stood your ground and you didn't just say that, okay, it is a matter of competition, let's just end things by saying okay to it. So yeah, these are my comments. I wish all the participants the very best for today's results. And over to you, Sachin.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So let's conclude this session with vote of thanks. I, Sachin Deshpande, the moderator of the National Mediation Competition 2020 organized by Law Internships, extend a hearty gratitude to Mr. Amok sir, who honored us with his enlightening session by being a judge of the National Mediation Competition 2020 and took out time in the midst of his busy schedule. I must also mention our deep sense of appreciation to all the participants who actively participated and are present today. Hope this round was a great learning experience for all of you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, participants. Thank you so much, sir. All the best to the participants. All right, so I'll end the session now.